What is up, golf addicts? Welcome to the Tour Junkies podcast for the Valero Texas Open. I am your lovely co-host, Pat Perry, joined by my tight jeans wearing, medium shirt wearing, fade looking whatever kind of hairstyle that is. Lovely co-host David Barnett. You know, tonight is the role reversal show. So I am leading this ship. I am the captain of this ship now. And DB's just, I don't know. What are you going to do, DB, during the show?
I'm just going to be here, drink and throw some names out. It's really freeing, actually. It's very freeing. I said that leading into this, like I don't have all these papers and ad reads and, stuff to keep up with. I feel lighter, honestly.
Do you?
Yeah,
what are you
is this what it feels like to be you?
Mm-hmm.
God. I'm actually doing something a little different tonight. You might be able to see it over my shoulder here, right somewhere. This is so awkward. Right there. I'm drinking a little Woodford tonight, just straight Woodford. I'm going to arrive at Planet Woodford tonight, is what I'm thinking.
Well, we're looking forward to that. But first, I got to say, we are brought to you by Fantasy National Golf Club. If you want a place to get all your stats for DraftKings, for betting, for whatever it is you might want to do, you need to go to fantasynational.com/TJ. You will get 20% off, whether or not you're going to go monthly, you're going to go weekly, annually, however you want to pay. Go to fantasynational.com/TJ. They got all your stats. They're going to, we talk about checking boxes, DB. Okay. If you want some boxes to check, you got to figure out where you're going to check them. Okay. You got to go to fantasynational.com. They got all kinds of things. They got lineup builders. They got optimizers. You can build all kinds of models and stuff. I know you like to build models, DB. You don't admit to it, but you like to build some models. But if you go to fantasynational.com/TJ, get your 20% off. They are a fantastic site. We go to they make my job easier. Okay. As the lead host for the Tour Junkies, they make my job easier going to fantasynational.com. So yeah, DB. Big week last week. Let's talk about last week before we get into the Valero Texas Open. And I got to start with our boy, Joel Dahmen, and his caddy, Geno, finally taking one down, getting a win. I'm going to raise a glass to them. A little cheers for them. Just an incredible win. Now, pay no mind to the fact that I faded Geno or Joel. Just pay no mind to that fact. And as a matter of fact, maybe I'm what helped bring him through to a win. But look, it was fantastic to see him win. Geno, just everything that we've been through and seen with them it was just awesome. Your thoughts, DB?
Listen, I got pretty misty. I got pretty misty watching it. We have been honored to get to know both of them. Primarily Geno. We've got to know Geno a little more and just love him to death. Love his wife to death. She's great. I've got to hang out with Joel's wife a little bit too, Lana, when we were tracking him on the golf course a couple years ago. She's fantastic. They're just great people. Joel's worked so hard, and you could just see it. It was so much fun to watch the little giddy jump and the little thing that he did when he won, and the tears, and then the end when his hat blew off and Geno comes from over the cliff holding the hat up in the air. It was just such a cool day. Now, I will say I was sweating the piss out of it the whole afternoon, and not because I had a bet on him. Thank you, Geno, for hooking us up there. No, I didn't have a bet on Joel, but just wanting to see him win so bad. And it felt like from hole 12 until he finished, every full shot was going off the reservation. I was like holding my breath. I stood up and watched most of the tournament, most of the back nine. I stood up. And every time he swung, I felt like he was letting go of the club with a hand. He was like, body language was bad. And I'm like, what's going on? It just was such a sweat to watch him like pull through. But the conditions were tough. I mean, hitting into some really gnarly wind on Sunday. He hung in there. He had some great up and downs. And man, you can just tell a guy like Joel how loved he is on tour when you see all the players and caddies, on Twitter giving him love. It was fun. Fun fact. We actually were texting with Fleener and Swedberg, and I said, is anybody else sweating this right now? And Fleener, who was getting off the plane from where they were playing the WGC, said, yeah, I'm in the Nashville airport and just got flagged down by a lady whose luggage I walked off with because I'm not paying attention. Like, everyone was in it. We were all in it, and it was so good to see. I'm so excited for those boys.
Yeah, it was incredible. Joel mentioned how he just felt like he was on cruise control. I mean, he was what, 3 or 4 under through his first 6 or 7 holes.
Yeah.
And then, but it's hard to win on tour. It's not easy. Joel talked about that. Geno mentioned that in the text with us, just how hard it is. But golly, I mean, on 18, we just had a mention of this in the chat. Rafael Campos, that missed putt. I cannot believe that putt did not go in.
It defied physics.
It did. It was almost as close. Actually, it was closer than, like, you remember the Kiz putt that almost went in on 18 at the Players Championship, where, like, he had a chance to win it, and that thing looked like it was going dead at the hole and then just died off at the end. But I mean, Campos's was even, like, I thought it was dead in the heart. He did too. He was literally about to give the biggest fist pump you've ever seen, and didn't happen for him. You know what? I learned a little bit more about Campos though in this tournament. He seems like a great dude. As a matter of fact, I think it was a great pairing for Joel. Joel mentioned that it was a good pairing for him. They're friends. I think Campos is well liked on tour. He's just a good guy, and you could tell in his interview afterwards that he was definitely happy for Joel. But he was gutted, man, and that's golf for you. That's, we see the good and the bad of that, but it was just an incredible day for Joel, and so happy to see them. Man, I was teary-eyed myself.
I got a little misty, and I don't get misty. It takes a lot.
Yeah. Now the opposite end of that, we had the WGC match play.
Moving on. Okay, don't care.
I mean,
did anyone watch that? Like, I watched none of it. As soon as Corrales came on, I was hooked. And when Corrales was on a commercial, I went to March Madness. Didn't even watch it. Didn't care to watch it. Didn't watch it. Whatever.
I actually did watch it, and the only reason was because Scotty Scheffler was my one and done. And I've been actually on quite the roll lately with my one and done picks. I had Bryce, and that started with the Bryson win a few weeks ago. I can't remember who I had. Oh, I had John Rahm at the Players, had a nice finish. I had Russell Henley at Honda Classic, he was top 5 or whatever there. And then Scotty Scheffler won over $1 million, by the way. Did you realize that if you finished second, you won $1.1 million in that tournament?
Which is double what Joel won, by the way.
I mean, that's incredible.
Joel won like 60, I think it was 540 or 560.
The match play just doesn't really do it for me, other than some of the drama we get. Like, we had the Kevin Na DJ thing. We could talk about that if we wanted to.
DJ, I can't believe your wiener's that long. Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
I mean, some of that kind of stuff I like, but other than that, the actual, golf itself and everything, there's just not a whole lot.
The Westwood Garcia match that ended on an ace was pretty fun.
Okay, well, that was.
I don't mind the match play. I like the match play. It definitely loses its luster. It loses its pop a little bit. It's funny, like, even just that one extra day starts to get old. And then when you lose some of the names that you lost in it, when one player out of the top 16 made it through and John Rahm, every other favorite in each group missed it, that definitely put a damper on things. And that's obviously not what the tour wants to happen.
That's not.
Wow.
Well, you know what? Let's not make him wait, because this is a little bit of a surprise, because I didn't even tell DB that this was going to happen.
Wow.
Dude. But I'm running the show tonight, so I brought in a surprise. So hey, Sam, go ahead and bring in Geno. Bring in Geno for us.
Hey boys, let's go. Hey, I think I'm still on Wi-Fi and I'm outside, so it might be a little sketchy. If I start breaking up, I'll switch to the LTE. Just tell me.
Oh man, dude, so glad to see you. How are you? Has the smile come off your face yet?
Say that again. Sorry.
Has the smile left your face yet?
No, not really. I mean, I probably got 90 minutes of sleep last night, and I woke up so exhausted, and I was like, I don't even care. Who cares that I'm tired? That doesn't matter. It's been awesome. Every time I think about it, like, So just real quick, like walking off 18T yesterday, Joel hit a really nice tee shot, and that hole's the hardest hole and maybe stupidest hole in the world. But we're walking off the tee, and Joel goes, "Are you nervous?" And I looked at him. I was like, "No, not at all, actually." I was like, "You're playing great." I was like, "I know you're going to hit a good shot here." And he goes, "I am nervous." That's okay. I was like, "You're supposed to be nervous." I was like, "That's what makes it fun." And he did hit a brilliant shot in there.
Yeah.
And I was completely calm. And then Rafa hit a great shot, which you don't really expect somebody to hit one to 15 feet from 200 yards into a 30-mile-an-hour wind.
God.
And I mean, he hit a brilliant shot, and Joel lagged it up there to about 2 feet. And when Rafa hit his putt, it was never missing. But I guess before Rafa hit his putt, I don't know, something came over me, and I started to like get choked up a little bit. And I was like, I got to pull it together, because if Rafa makes this, we're going back to the tee. And he hit his putt and did the putter raise thing, and I knew it was in. It was never going to miss, and then somehow it missed, and I started crying right then. But even before Joel tapped it in, and I was perfectly calm all day. Never had any sort of really stress or emotion, and there you can see me on 18. It just kind of came out.
Dude,
I mean, well, for the listeners and viewers out there, I know this guy doesn't need any introduction, but we do have Geno Bonelli, caddy for Joel Dahmen, surprise guest on the show tonight. Now, I got to ask you this. This is a pressing question for me, because now we could get into some emotional stuff, which I do want to get into. But in one of those pictures, that picture that producer Sam just threw up there, what is that y'all are drinking? Is that like an orange drink or something?
No, it's just I think it's just like a Mexican beer. It's kind of like a Corona in a can or something. It's a really fun little can though.
Yeah, it's very vibrant. It's very vibrant.
Yeah, it is. It's a nice look. It needed a lime, to be honest with you, but I drank a couple without. So
the putt drop or doesn't drop for Campos, and then you guys obviously have the victory. Now, was there any? Were you nervous that Joel actually might miss that putt?
Well, yeah, no. Normally I would be, but something about just the moment, I knew it wasn't going to miss. This may sound weird, but I felt like all day, like he was never not going to win.
Wow. Yeah.
That sounds weird, but it was always his golf tournament from the moment we started in the morning. And then, after the bogey on 14, it started to not look that way, but I still felt good about it. I didn't want him to get down. I kind of slapped him in the chest. I was like, "Let's go." I was like, "This is fun." We're at that point, I think it was a 3-way tie with Gligic and Campos both, and I was like, let's go hit a shot here on 15, because 15 is really the only birdie opportunity in those last 4 holes. And he hit a great shot in there. Didn't make the putt, obviously, but 4 pars in a row was good enough to do it.
Let me ask you this. Like, Joel's talked a little bit about this, and maybe some listeners have heard pieces of it, but Joel has somewhat downplayed winning on the PGA Tour. If you ask, like, even if you ask me, like, I think he's kind of downplayed it before in terms of, like, yeah, I'm out here, I want to make money, I want to keep my card, I want to compete out here, but he seems like he's never really, as much as other guys, so relatively speaking, he's never like put all that on getting out there and winning, at least to the public.
Yeah,
that appears like it may have changed.
In the last year, I would say he's been ready to win.
Mm-hmm.
I remember last year at the Hilton Head, I think he shot 64 on Saturday, and we were 1 off the lead and going into Sunday. And it was that point I felt like he was ready to win. He went to the golf course on Sunday thinking he was going to shoot another 64 and we were going to hoist that trophy. Now, granted, we shot 77 or whatever and finished 70th place. But I've kind of felt like since then he's been ready.
How was the party last night?
You know, I wish I could. I mean, it was great.
Which you can remember.
You know, we went. Joel took me back to my place. I just had an Airbnb for the week, and I packed up all my stuff. And he waited for me in the parking lot. Then we went to his place, and I slept on their couch. We had a nice dinner and a few glasses of bourbon. But I spent most of the night on my phone returning text messages. Truthfully, I don't know how many I responded to. I tried to get to as many as I could, but I still have a bunch to go. And then I had to get on the charter and get up at like 5:30 this morning, get on the charter and come here. So I was kind of lame last night, but I landed here this afternoon. I took a 1-hour nap. I got up and I came down to a sports bar here in San Antonio and ordered some nachos and a dozen beers. And that's
nice.
right now.
So going back though to this win for you, Geno, talk a little bit more about what it means to you. I know you've worked a lot to get to where you are. Yeah.
Well, I'm just so proud of Joel. Like, I don't know. I mean, obviously I'm excited for myself too, but the last couple years have been so easy. You know, he's made over, I don't know, $2 million a year for the last couple years. And he's a cut making machine. He rarely misses cuts. Like, I've always felt like his C game is still good enough to finish 35th. And then this calendar year, I should say, hasn't been the case. It's just been a little bit off. And, you know, missing 6 of 7 this year and the only one we make at Pebble, I couldn't even believe we made the cut. I was like, how did we make the cut? We're playing awful. And I even told him that. I'm like, if this was a better field, we'd have missed the cut by 4. And so it does weigh on you a little bit when things start to go south. But I told him the week of the Players, he was hitting the ball so well. We were about to miss the cut. We're standing on the 18th hole on Friday afternoon. We're going to miss by 2. And I was like, I looked at him. I was like, you're going to win this tournament someday. And, you know, he missed. And he was pretty down because he was hitting the ball so well and putting so poorly. And I went to dinner by myself that night at Taco Bell. How sad is that? Yes. And I'm sitting at Taco Bell, and I sent him a really long text. I was like, you're not going to want to hear this right now because I know you're depressed and you're feeling down or whatever. But I was like, I'm excited to go to the next tournament. I was like, I feel like you're playing really well right now, despite what your self-image that you have, whatever it may be with your putter, you know, because we had 77 putts on Friday of the Players. And it sounds weird. I even said it to his coach. I was like, I'm genuinely excited to go to Dominican Republic and play. I think it's going to be a good week. And then, you know, I tweeted, I don't know if you guys saw it last Sunday, the text he sent me, he said, I'm good at golf again, get ready.
Yeah.
And I felt like from the start of the week, it was just kind of our week, and it played out that way. So it was kind of cool.
And you alluded to that. I mean, you texted us and basically were like, guys, if we don't win this, I don't know what I'm insane. Like you knew it. I can vouch for the fact that you felt good the entire week.
I really did. You know, I think I sent you guys a text too. Like, and we had some unfortunate stuff happen. The ball landing on a sprinkler head on number 8 and going to hazard, making double there. And most players have unlucky things happen like that throughout the week. So I can't say that didn't happen to anybody else. But he was just kind of on cruise control. He played really good golf, and great week overall.
Well, you know, we can't let you go, Geno, without talking about the incredible save you made of the hat.
Yeah.
During the trophy ceremony there and the pictures there. So tell us about that.
I was just trying to stay out of their way. You know, he's doing his picture thing with his wife, and the wind was blowing 30 miles an hour like it had been for the fourth straight day in a row. And I saw it come off his head, and I'm holding that little blue can of beer.
Yeah.
And I thought that thing was going to go in the ocean unless somebody did something about it. And I'm the only guy there to do something about it. So I chased it down, and There's actually a bunker on the side of that green that drops down about, 8 to 10 feet, I feel like. And had I not been holding the beer, I would have dove head first. I actually contemplated it when I was holding the beer, and I was like, no, I got to go feet first because I didn't want to spill my beer. So I jumped off the lip of the bunker down into the bottom there, and yeah, there's a video of it.
Head first, Geno, you would have died.
I love how you gave the hat raise too, and just like made sure everybody noticed that you got it. So.
Joel, Geno. And as soon as we try to do something cool, it glitches. Now it's just moving around. We can't hear you. Okay.
Well, now we'll just let him go.
Yeah. Just send him out of here. Try to get him back on, maybe. Producer Sam's working on it. Maybe if he
hang on, Geno, hang on tight so we can say our goodbyes and then let you get off. And all right, Geno, you there?
No.
Producer, yeah, way to go, producer.
Sorry, fellas.
Okay.
Just trying to do something cool. I'm sorry, Geno. If you click that link again, you could probably get back in.
Yeah, Geno. Yeah. Tell him he can click the link and come back in.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was too good. Nice hat.
Hang on. Thank you.
Man, I love that guy. I love those boys. That's good stuff, man. You really got me there. I was not expecting a visit from Geno. The people are happy. Pat's Army's thrilled. Lord Pat pulled through, made that a special thing. Really cool to get him on the show right after the win. I know he is beaming. He's been beaming.
Well, I just texted him. We'll see if he'll come back in. He may not be able to. But anyway, I was very excited to do that for not just you, DB, because I didn't tell you that was going to happen. But yes, for the listeners as well. And Geno's just such a great guy. I'm so excited. Here he is. He's even coming back to say his goodbyes.
Well, you there?
I'm sorry, I'm back. Somebody called me, and it really threw my phone service off, apparently.
Hey, I did want to say proper goodbyes, Geno, but I think we have to ask you this. You're at the Valero. You're coming off. Joel's coming off his first big win, an emotional situation. We talk about this all the time on the show. Like, how does a player on their first win, like if you talked about that with him this week, like how's he going to approach the Valero? What do you think? Like, how exhausted are you guys just emotionally after doing that?
That's a good question. I think he's not going to do. We might play 3 holes tomorrow and hit 7 golf balls, and we've got a 9-hole pro-am on Wednesday,
and Geno must be getting another phone call.
Okay. Phone calls are bad for interviews, apparently.
Okay. Well, it sounded like he's going to rest up.
Yeah. Sounded like he's going to rest up and drink a lot.
He didn't mention that. More detail on that. And okay, here. Yeah. Let's see. Let's try this again. Send him in.
Do not disturb. So hopefully it doesn't ring again. So I apologize for that.
All good.
Oh, no. Good.
We're not gonna. I bet we don't do. We got the pro-am on Wednesday, and I imagine that we will come out, and it'll be something stupid. Like we'll be 4 under through 10, and probably in first place again on Thursday. And then he'll look at the leaderboard and be like, "Oh, I'm leading," and then it'll kind of fizzle, and we're gonna finish 18th place this week.
Okay.
Hey, you always tweet something funny that Joel said during the course of a tournament. Like, what is there? You got any gold from last week?
Man, that's a good one. So I've been a little stagnant in that. It's tough to post those
Yeah.
when things are going poorly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it hasn't been great lately. But I don't know if there was any good specific quotes from this last week, but I don't know if you guys watched the coverage or not. But our dialogue on number 12
Yes.
was like he wanted to hit 3-wood, and I don't know where he wanted to hit 3-wood to. Like, I just hated it.
Dude, my wife, who was paying zero attention, was looking on her phone, like watching TikTok videos in the living room with me, and I'm standing in front of the TV. I stood in front of the TV and watched the entire back nine. And I had the volume up, and she looked up and goes, "Are they arguing?" And I was like, "Yes, they are." And then you were like, at one point, you just finally were like, "All right, well, just you tell me what you want to hit. What do you want to hit?"
Yeah, and he was like, "I just want to hit 3-wood in that bunker," and I'm still like, "No." And he goes, "The only way hybrid's gonna get there is if I aim at the pin." I'm like, and hit like this smoke draw, and I'm like, "Well, then just aim it 5 yards farther right and hit the smoke draw. Like, if you want to avoid those bunkers, like."
That wasn't the one that he like kind of topped out of the bunker, was it? That wasn't the same shot, was it?
No, that one was 2 holes later on 14.
What did he say after that?
There's not a lot you can say after a top bunker shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, he did actually. He came out of the bunker. He goes, "Can I reach the green from there?" He did say that. And I was like, "Yeah, you're gonna have like 210, but it's into the wind. It's another hybrid." So we went driver hybrid. Yeah, this par 5. But
Oh man.
no, it was good enough. The chip he hit on 17 there, I thought it was going in the hole.
Yeah.
Just that little.
Oh yeah, almost
roll.
hit in the head.
Yeah, that I was actually really surprised of the play that Rafa took there, because I wasn't really paying attention, and I just saw the ball come up to the front fringe and stop, and I thought he putted it. So then I looked and I saw he had a very low lofted iron.
Yeah.
Just trying to scoot it up there, I guess, but that was the only mistake he made all day. He played really solid. I was impressed with his game. He hits it really nice.
Yeah, he seems like a great dude. So
yeah, we had a lot of fun with him. So I felt really bad when I hit him with the pin on 18.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's in the heat. It's an emotional moment, Geno.
I was crying.
I didn't even know I did that until today. I saw somebody posted it on Twitter. I think Ted Scott was like, "Geno, did they do something to you?" You know, I dropped the pin and whacked him with it. So I went up and I apologized at baggage claim today. I was like, "I'm so sorry. I had no idea that even happened."
Well, Geno, we appreciate you giving us your time. You're so gracious as always. We were incredibly excited. We have always been, and huge fans of yours and Joel. And so it was a great moment for you guys, and we were glad to share it with you in a small way. So we appreciate you coming on tonight, sort of last minute too.
Yeah. No, you guys are the best. I appreciate you as well. And sorry I didn't tip you off to his ball striking a little earlier, so we could have hammered that this week.
Completely fine. Hey,
No
we're good.
comment.
Beers on me next time we run into each other.
Liquor on you. All right, sounds good. Liquor
Yeah, top shelf.
You got her. See you, fellas.
See you, Geno. Yep. Okay, so there you go. That was Geno Bonelli, caddy for PGA Tour winner Joel Dahmen. A little technical difficulties there, so we might as well move on here. And you know what? DB, what do you got for the course breakdown?
Oh, all right. For the course breakdown. Okay, we are at the Oaks course at TPC San Antonio. It's a par 72, a little over 74 hunch. Greg Norman design, got a little assist from old Sergio Garcia. Also designed the host course at OHL Mayakoba, which could be a corollary course if you want to take a look at that. Old Greg Norman did with his enormous schlong. It's been the host site here since 2010. So going back to 2010, you can find TPC San Antonio on the Oaks course hosting the Valero Texas Open. It can be pretty demanding off the tee. Fairways are kind of tight, tree-lined. Rough can get kind of lengthy. So, you look at past winners here. You got ball strikers. You got accuracy kind of players. Not a lot of bombers here. There's really hardly any bombers here. Have won here in the past. So just total driving kind of guy. Approach play is important. Greens are pretty undulating with a lot of different tiers on them. So, being on the right levels here, right, tier of the green that you can, have a putt at it. There's also a lot of slope. So if you miss the green, there's a lot of runoffs. That happens. It sucks. You got to be able to get up and down. Dwarf Bermuda, it's a little overseeded with some POA at this point of the year. So everybody's going to be freaking out about that. I don't care. I'm not looking at putting. I'm not looking at it. I don't care. So there you go. Greens and regulation here, pretty tough to do. One of the top 10, maybe 15 toughest courses on the PGA Tour to hit a green in regulation, and it can be, difficult if the wind is the defense here in Texas, as we all know. But I will say in the last 2 years, 2018 and 2019, since we missed it last year due to the Rona, it did seem to play a little easier. You had Andrew Landry won here in 2017 or 2018 at 17 under. Corey Connors won here in 2019 after Monday qualifying, got in, won here in 2019 at 20 under, and then went to the Masters. And then me and Pat saw him at a restaurant and spoke to him. 4 of the last 4 winners through 2019 were not already in the Masters. That's something else that we like to look at. Obviously, this time of year, you got some guys who are tuning up for Augusta next week. You got some folks who are looking for the last chance to get in. The last player in the Masters field is going to be the winner of this event if they're not already in the Masters. You need to know that. There's no other way in it. You can finish runner-up. If you finish runner-up and the guy who wins is already in the Masters, you still don't get in. You have to win this golf tournament as someone not in the Masters already to come to Augusta, take the charter to Augusta, and play in the Masters. Your past champs, like I said, Corey Connors is your defending champ from 2019 at 20 under. Andrew Landry, Kevin Chappell making an appearance this week as well. Charlie Hoffman also in the field. Jimmy Walker. Our boy Baudo won this event in 2014. Good old Baudo. Martin Laird's in the field. He's a past champ. Ben Curtis is in the field as a past champ. Brendan Steele's in the field as a past champ. So there you go. And in terms of looking at,
dear Lord, who won this event in 1988?
Well, I'm naming names who are relevant to the field. I'm letting the people know that there are past champs in the field. There happens to be a lot of them. They're all in the field over the last 10 years, except for Baudo and Adam Scott. So there you go.
Okay.
A couple Aussies.
Right. Did you happen to mention that the last 2 winners here were 200 to 1 as far as the odds?
Yes, there's some bombs here for sure. Yeah.
So there are, and I think Baudo was like 350 to 1 when he won here. So I feel like that was a good course breakdown. DB, you did a good job there. I don't know if you missed too many things. I don't know if you talked about the weather too much, but I do think it's going to be pretty windy this week, so that could be a key factor on this course. So that's something to look out for. But that's a great course breakdown. You know what else is great? Have you ever seen? Corey Pavin won here in 1988. So thank you, producer Sam. But you know what? We need to talk about my friends at Tranter Grey, DB. Okay, I need to tell you people about these people. Okay, look, if you're in need of some high quality video production, maybe for a business you own, a major project you're a part of or something. Okay, our friends at Tranter Grey have filmed a bunch of content for us, and lately we used them on something special we're working on. Actually, very special. I've seen the previews of this, and it is quite incredible, okay? It's even, and I'll just say this, all the rage these days with investors. We'll put it that way.
Gosh.
But anyway, what? You think people are, what?
You said too much, but okay.
Oh, I did? Anyway, these guys know what to do. They're doing it all over the world. They'll come to you. So you know what? You don't just have to be based where they are. They'll go all over the place, okay? They work with Fortune 500 companies making promotional videos to help you represent your brand. We've personally seen their work, as I've mentioned, especially with athletic apparel, like companies like No Bull, okay? They've also worked with Bill Murray at the World Golf Hall of Fame and his production for his Caddyshack event. If your company does any type of video production, I guarantee you these guys deliver an exceptional product every time for you. Check it out on their site, trantergrey.com. That's Tranter Grey, TranterGrey.com, and see how they can help you.
Just when I thought Pat couldn't get any louder, now that he's hosting, he's actually louder. He's louder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So anyway, go check out our friends at TranterGrey.com. Let's get into the picks tonight, DB. We got to move it because it's good to have Geno on, but that took a little time. So we're going to start with the 9K range as we always do, and the 9K range starts down at Matt Kuchar at 9,000, going all the way up to now Tony Finau. It was Dustin Johnson, but he has withdrawn from the event, so that is something to take note of. Dustin Johnson has withdrawn. So, DB, I'm going to let you start. Who are your 3 GPP plays and your fade this week in the 9K range?
Yep. So I am looking to be a pretty balanced lineup builder in terms of DFS this week. I'm sure that's probably going to be the case for most folks. So, obviously paying attention to your ownership leverage at some point is going to be important. But I'm not going to pay up for a lot of the top part of this field. I considered paying up for Jordan Spieth. May still, depends. I don't know. But for now, I'm liking Corey Connors at 9,500. Give me the defending champ. Give me the ball striking guy who's still playing really, really well. I don't care about what he did in WGC play, match play. Don't care one bit. I think it's a great spot for him. A lot of good vibes. Sets up perfect for him. That's why he won here. So love that. I'm going to play the guy right below him at 9,400 with Ryan Palmer, the ball striking Texan who's had a fantastic year on the PGA Tour. I think he's more confident than ever. I think he could come into an event like this ready to win, and get that dub that he's been looking for outside of the Zurich with Jon Rahm. Now, both of those guys are already in the field for Augusta, but I think both of them are going to come in here ready to go. And then right below them, Cameron Tringale at 9,300. So those 3 in a row for me is where I'm going. Tringale's number 1 in this field over the last 24 rounds in strokes gained approach. He's checking the box off the tee. He's incredible right now. He's killing it. He's just ball striking himself to death and everybody else, and I just love it. He's got a good, solid year last year here, or 2019, whatever. Finished T17. Missed the cut before that. He's got plenty of experience around here. I don't know that this is necessarily a course where course history is, a must, but the way he's playing right now, the way he's hitting the ball, I love it, and I like the more balanced build. My fade in this area is easily going to be Matt Kuchar at 9,000. There's no way I'm playing Kuch. No way I'm buying the price increase, the bump after him making it through match play by some God knows how. I don't understand what happened to him. He's totally sucked all year, and he gets to match play.
It's match play. He's always been a good match play. I mean, the dude won the U.S. Amateur.
Yeah, I don't. It was like so dominant. It wasn't even like he was like barely. It wasn't like he was barely beating people. He was crushing people. Like he was.
Well, he was, but still, like people, like if you notice, like there, even like Scotty Scheffler in the championship match? I don't even think he had a birdie. Like sometimes it just doesn't matter like how well you're scoring. It's just
and he was in a tough group to me. I mean, he was in there with JT, Kisner, and Spieth. No, anyway, it was in a tough group. He was in a pretty tough group. So I don't know. It was. I'm not paying up for Kuchar after we've been seeing him in like low 7s. I'm not doing that.
I don't mind that. All right. So you said Connors and you said Tringale. Who was your other GPP play?
Palmer.
Ryan Palmer. I don't mind that. I'm going to start with Jordan Spieth. I like playing Spieth this week at 10-7. We've seen him continue to have good form. I thought he really should have. Was it him that played Kuch and didn't make it through to out of the group?
Jordan? Maybe it was Jordan.
What?
It was
I think it was Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like Jordan should have won that group and gotten out of there. He played well. So, again, I like Jordan at 10-7. He's just been gearing up for the Masters. I mean, look, now what does worry me, I do think you do need to be pretty accurate off the tee here. But I'm still okay with his ball striking, his approach game right now. He's obviously been putting it incredible. So I like the way they're going to have these greens running quick and undulating. So I like Jordan Spieth at 10-7. I'm also with you on Corey Connors at 9,500 for all the reasons that you said. I think that he is a great play again this week. And then I got to go with my boy, Charlie Hoffman. I'm not going to sing the song. Okay. I'm not going to sing the Charlie Hoffman song because I feel like it's getting a little bit overplayed. And if you haven't heard it, where the hell is Charlie Hoffman? Where the hell is Charlie Hoffman? He's 9,200. this week. And I'm still going to play him. I like his form. You look at his stats. He definitely checks all the boxes this week for this course. He is third in the field in ball striking, number one in strokes gained approach, 21st off the tee. And he is also in the top 40 in par 5 scoring. So I like Charlie Hoffman. My fade is going to be Tony Finau. Now, let me give you one major reason that I'm going to fade Tony Finau. Is that there's a possibility that he could win just like Joel Dahmen won after I faded him. And so I might have to put a bet on Tony Finau, although I don't like his odds. I will say that. His odds are too short, but I would love to see Finau win in general. But I don't think there's a whole lot of upside from Finau at 11,000 in this field. I will not play Finau. He will be the fade this week. Okay. DB, you have a weird face right now. You got a weird look on your face, and I don't like it.
Who did you pick? I quit paying attention. I was texting. I like to text.
Yeah, I noticed you were texting. I was like, what's going on here? We got things that we're trying to do. We're doing a show. This is the Valero Texas Open show for the Tour Junkies podcast, brought to you by Fantasy National Golf Club, Tranter Grey, and other people, and you're still texting. But my picks were Jordan Spieth.
Ben Little's texting us. Sorry, and
I don't really care.
I'm roll a cat tonight, so I'm checking out while
I don't really care about him. My picks were.
I don't need to hear your picks. It's okay. Let's just move on.
Okay. Well, then I don't. Okay. Well, let's go to the 8K range. We got a short range here, as always, starting down with Aaron Wise at 8,000, all the way up to Siwoo Kim at 8,900. And I'm going to start us off here, and I'm starting us off with Siwoo Kim. I like Siwoo Kim this week at 8,900. I am going to play him. You look at his ball striking. He is 13th in the field. He is 10th in the field in strokes gained approach, 27th in greens in regulation, also top 10 in par 5 scoring. Now, one of the things you always talk about, DB, is that Siwoo plays well when Siwoo wants to play well. Well, he's in Texas, okay? And I feel like Siwoo's had some good times in Texas.
Yeah.
We've heard some stories. We've heard some stories that he likes Texas for a lot of reasons.
God bless Texas with his own.
So
hand.
maybe that means he'll play well. But he also has a good history here. He finished T4 last year, top 25 this tournament back in 2017. Has been playing pretty well recently. When you look at, his last tournament, top 10 at the Players. He was in a tough group, I thought, for the WGC match play. But I do like Siwoo this week at 8,900. My next play is going to be down at the bottom. The guy that really had a good shot, I think, to win the Honda Classic, but just totally effed up several holes. And that is Aaron Wise at 8,000. He did finish 13th at the Honda Classic, T65 at the Players. Now, DB, you can't make that reaction. You can't do that. You can't make the reaction of, why would you play that guy? Because that's what I'm supposed to do. Because I'm playing your role tonight. So you can't even. You're not even allowed to make that reaction.
It's supposed to be like doing this, like I'm not texting, but I am, and not even knowing who.
So you can't even. Yeah, you didn't even know that I just picked Aaron Wise. Basically, you had no clue that that's who I picked. Okay. So I did just pick Aaron Wise, and I will play him in your GPP lineups. And then my fade is going to be, you guess what? You're not going to listen to this one either. Cam Davis, fading Cam Davis at 8,800. Look, what have you done for me lately? Nothing. Okay. Besides the T33 at the Honda, 2 cuts missed before that at the Players and the Arnold Palmer on very difficult golf courses. And I think this golf course is going to play pretty difficult for these guys, even though they can score out here. I do think it's still difficult. And I'm not going to play Cam Davis. Not going to play him. Don't like him. He missed the cut his only time playing here before. Stats, very good, other than driving accuracy. He is 121st in the field in driving accuracy. But other than that, it's not bad for this. Accuracy. Okay, you're not allowed to make fun of of that either. Okay. I don't do that.
I am going to give you my 2 plays. I'm going to pick Chris Kirk again, 8,600. I'm going to keep riding the Kirk train. I'm all aboard. He's checking the box. His irons are great. Off the tee is solid. Around the green is one of the best in the field. And he's got some magic here in the last 5 years. 2 8th place finishes, a 13th place finish. He's coming off a top 25 at the Honda. T8 just a few weeks ago at the Arnold Palmer. I love where Chris Kirk's game is at, where his head is at, the confidence level, the ball striking. It's all there. He's the total package. I think he's a good value at 8,600. I would I think Chris Kirk, I would pay. I mean, I think he should be in the Charlie Hoffman, Cam Tringali category. Like I definitely think head to head, no pricing, no nothing. I would take Chris Kirk over Hoffman and Tringali easily. I would put him.
I
right
actually
there.
agree with him over Tringali. I don't know if I agree with you on Hoffman.
Yeah, I would put him right there in the Arnold Palmer Connors category for sure. Below those guys, but right there. I love the way he's playing right now, and I think he's confident. And then I'm going to give you a name that I don't know. I'm going to play a little Aaron Wise at 8,000. Play a little Aaron Wise. Normally don't get all over Aaron Wise, but I liked what I saw out of him last event, where he finished 13th at the Honda. Didn't do so well at the Players, whatever. But I like Aaron Wise. He missed the cut here in his only attempt. He's checking the ball striking boxes. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Aaron Wise this week.
Okay. Did you say who your fade was?
No. My fade is Adam Hadwin. His record here is terrible. His approach numbers are also terrible. Don't like the value for Adam Hadwin. Don't like the price. Just think he's overpriced. So I just don't like him. Again, I just don't like him. I don't like the value. Did you catch my Aaron Wise pick though? I think that's going to be a really good pick.
Hadwin, that's a terrible pick.
I know that's why
so bad.
That's exactly what
I mean, that's a terrible fade. That's what I'm saying. That's a terrible fade. Hadwin's a great
Negative,
play this
positive.
week.
Okay, so you like Hadwin.
Yeah, I like Hadwin. I think he's a good play this week.
You want to make a Hadwin bet?
Yeah, I do.
No, here's what we should do. Ben had a good idea. All right, here's the bet. We each pick one player in the 8K range that we.
Okay.
What did he say? We each pick one player. Let me pull it up here. Let's see. We each pick one player. Our least favorite player in the 8K range. Whoever finishes, whoever guy does the best, that guy loses. So pick your least favorite player in the 8K range.
Oh, jeez. I'll go with Cam Davis, even though he's a higher priced 8K game. That's a risky play, but I'll go with Cam Davis. He's my least favorite in the 8K range.
Well, see, like a true match play genius, I let you kind of go first here and shit all over yourself so that I can make a much better pick, because I cannot believe you'd pick a player as solid as Cam Davis to do this with. So now I don't have to.
He's going to miss the cut.
Now I don't have to be as cute. I will actually, you know what? I will go with. I'm going to go with Ricky Fowler, actually. I think Ricky Fowler is going to spray it all over this place, and I don't think you can do that. So I'll take Ricky Fowler. So
I actually like this. I like this. I like Ricky over Cam.
Does producer Sam have an idea? Maybe put it in the chat. Maybe people should put it in the chat. What should our penalty be on the Masters show next week? How about we do that?
Yeah. Speaking of the Masters show, DB, a lot of stuff we got going on for the Masters show. It is going to be a big week. As always, we're going to have 2 shows. We're going to have the DraftKings show, or DFS show, I should say. And then we're going to have the betting show also. It is all going to come out early next week, too. It's not going to be, Monday nights, Tuesday mornings like normal, because we've got pricing and everything early. We will have it out. We're going to do it live on Sunday night, and then we'll have it out Monday in podcast form or whatever. Okay, I don't do that part, so DB, you might have to clarify there. But
it'll be out Sunday night. It'll be out late Sunday night.
Yeah, so there you go. And by the way, let me talk about something cool that we got going on with Monkey Knife Fight, DB. Okay, we got a little joint venture with Monkey Knife Fight. Okay, so we've teamed up with them for an exclusive offer to the Nut Hut. Yes, you can get 2 free months of the Nut Hut, which is the greatest thing on planet Earth.
Yes.
Basically. Okay. If you go to playmkf.com/nuthut, that is playmkf.com/nuthut, enter the code Tour Junkies, and you're going to get 2 free months of Nut Hut access. And now that's going to be, as long as you use that promo code, $50 is what you're going to have to deposit there. And you're going to get an instant match of a certain amount. I think it's $50. And then you got to play a game. You got to play a game. You can't just, sit on it.
You got to play $10.
You got to play $10, and you're going to get 2 free months of access to the Nut Hut. Let me tell you why that's special, okay? Not only is the Nut Hut special, but if you get the next 2 months free, that means you're getting the Masters. You're getting the PGA Championship. They're all going to be in the next couple months, okay? So that's 2 big tournaments that you're going to get special access to the Nut Hut for free. So if you go to playmkf.com/Nut Hut, use the promo code Tour Junkies. Within, I think, 48 hours or so, maybe longer, you're going to get a link to join the Nut Hut, and we'll see how that goes. Should go well. I think it will.
Pat has made it through his final ad read. Great job, Pat.
Thank you. All right, now let's get into the 7K range. And DB, I'm going to let you start while I drink some more beer.
Great. I'm going to make this snappy. I'm going to go with the course history guy here because I think his game is coming around, and that's Ryan Moore. He's finished 18th, 7th, and 3rd in his last 3 attempts here. And, T35 at the Players, I think, was a big deal for him. He did miss the cut the following week at the Honda. But I think the game's coming around for Ryan Moore. This place is a little better suited for him. I like him at 7,900. And then I'm going to go a little bit off the grid here with this one. Not a name that I typically say very often. He did miss the cut last time we saw him out at the Players. I'm going to go with Bernd Wiesberger at 7,200. We talked about how windy this event was looking to set up and looking to be. Now, Bernd Wiesberger, 7,200, you get a good little discount. He's probably going to be sub 5% owned, okay? Good win player, and he's a multi-time European Tour winner. Like, the guy can win. He knows how to win. He knows how to close the door. 39th in strokes gained approach in this field, 11th in strokes gained around the green. It all comes down to the tee ball for Mr. Bernd. So hopefully he can keep it in the short stuff. But I think that's a good GPP pivot in that range. I think there's going to be folks drawn to Doug Gim and Matt Naismith, KH Lee, which are all names I like. But I think Bernd and a big GPP could give you some leverage. And then there's a lot of names in here that I do like. I mean, I like the Matt Naismith right there at 7,100, so I'll give you 2 cheapies. I do like the approach play for Naismith. I just think the kid's are really, really talented. So 36 at the Honda was the last time we saw him out, but he's had a good little run so far in 2021. A couple of hiccups at the Players, the API, but he's a ball striking son of a gun. Matt Naismith, the South Carolina product, good kid. Hits it a good, hits it pure AF. So I'll go with Ryan Moore, Bernd Wiesberger, Matt Naismith. There's a bunch of them in here that I'm sure we'll be talking about in the Nut Hut on Wednesday night's chat. My fade is going to be Gary Woodland. I know you're all shocked. 7,600. I guess there's not injury concerns, but for me, there's still like some lingering injury concern there. But at the end of the day, I think the biggest reason is he's clearly here to find form coming into Augusta. That's why he's here. I went back and looked. If you look at the last 8 major championships and the Players' Championships, the last 8, only one time in those last 8 events did he play the event the week before. He's typically not a play the week before kind of guy. Only one time he did that, and it was because it was a WGC preceding a major. This is not something he typically does. He is clearly here to find form. Peak at the right time, I don't know, but he's not found anything lately other than the trunk of his car on a Friday afternoon putting his clubs in it. So I think I'm out on Woodland. I think I'll wait on him.
Okay. All right. That's very bold of you, DB. Good job there. All right. I'm going to start with Charles Howell at 7,800. I like him this week. Look, Charles was kind of I don't know what the hell was wrong with him. When he usually has like a great West Coast swing, but you know what? It hadn't been all that good. But if you look at his recent form, it's been pretty good. T28 last week at Corrales, top 10 at the Players Championship, T36 at Arnold Palmer, which I think is pretty good for, a tough field and a tough event. And then if you look at his stats lately, they have improved over his last 24 rounds. He's 40th in the field in ball striking, top 10 off the tee, top 26 in greens and regulation. I think Charles Howell his game is coming around. He's another guy that's not in the field for the Masters. Who knows? Could get a win. That's rare for Charles Howell, but you never know. He could give it a run here trying to get into his hometown event. So at 7,800, I do like Charles Howell. And then I'm a fan of my boy Sam Ryder, 7,400, another guy who's been
feeling
playing
himself right now. He's wearing neon pants and stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
he's feeling himself.
Yeah, I like some Sam Ryder. I mean, across the board, almost every stat you look at, he is checking boxes: ball striking, approach, off the tee, driving accuracy. He's top 5 in the field in both greens and regulation and par 5 scoring. So Sam Ryder at 7,400 with good form and everything. I like him. And then I'm going with another guy that I wouldn't say he's necessarily a Texas guy, but he did go to school in Texas. And that is Harry Higgs at 7,100. I like him this week. I think he could just, I could see him having a good tournament here. Okay. We've seen some decent form out of Harry Higgs lately. Look, it's Harry Higgs. He's just an incredible guy. And that's why I want to take him. I think he's stylish. I think he's stylish in the way he dresses. And like me,
yikes,
being very stylish in the way I dress, that's why I want to take him. Okay. It's just like I'm a big fan of Brooks Koepka and his joggers and that kind of stuff. So,
gotcha. Okay.
Anyway, in my fade this week, it's going to be Danny Willett. Don't like Danny Willett. I know he's top 10 last week. He gave it a run.
Yeah.
And I actually kind of liked him a little bit last week. And he's trying to find a little form as well, kind of like Gary Woodland going into the Masters. And he has played better. But look, if you look at the stats, nothing looks good. He's 86 in ball striking. He's 120th in the field in strokes gained approach, 102nd in driving accuracy. About the only thing he has done pretty well lately is par 5 scoring. He's 12th in the field there. But I'm not a big fan of Danny Willett at 7,700, so he will be my fade this week. DB, you look like you wanted to say something. I'll let you say something real quick, and then I'll cut you off.
Hey, Pat. Again, I have nothing to say.
Okay, all right, DB. Yeah. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Now let's talk about the 6K range. Going down to the 6K range, we got a lot of guys here, as we always do. And I'm going to start here. I'm going to go really fast so we can finish up this show. But I was going to say Roger Sloan, and that's why the S's got all taken up. They were taken up in my brain capacity. There are a lot of S's, show Sloan, but I like Sloan. The guy's been freaking phenomenal lately. Top 25 in his last 3 starts, and then he's also checking a lot of boxes. 16th in ball. What did you just say?
They're very windy starts. Playing well.
16th in ball striking, 15th in approach. He is number 1 in the field in greens and regulation. Roger Sloan, I think, is definitely in play at 6,700. And then our boy Taco Supreme.
Oof.
Will Gordon. Now, if you don't know why he's called Taco Supreme, maybe you should be in the Nut Hut. Will Gordon is at 6,800. I like him. He's made his last 5 straight cuts. He checks the box off the tee, also in greens and regulation. I think that Will Gordon could have a great week this week, and I like the fact that he's coming in good form with those 5 straight cuts. If you're looking at a guy in the 6K range, and he's got 5 straight cuts,
that's good.
I think that's good. That's what you want. You want to play that guy. And then my last guy at 6,800 also is Adam Schenk. Okay. He's another guy coming in pretty good, decent form as well. You look at the stats for him. He is 35th in the field in ball striking, 47th in approach, checks the box off the tee. And I believe he's got a decent history here as well. Let's see. T7 last year. That's pretty good. Top 10 last year in this event. And then a T58 his first year playing ever. So Adam Schenk at 6,800. TV, who do you got?
I love the Roger Sloan play. I can't believe we both love so much Sloan. That's way too much Sloan than I ever thought we would have. It's more than I can imagine. It's more than I ever thought we would do. A lot of Sloan. 6 years, yeah. It's too much Sloan, honestly. I'll go GMAC right there with him at 6,700, coming off the T4, had a chance to close it out. Said after the round he's feeling good about his game, feeling good about where he's at. You got to think the old wily veteran like GMAC would love to get back to Augusta National with a win this week. if Andrew Landry can win here 2 years ago, I think GMAC can win here. Like it's not, he doesn't have to be super long. He's great in the wind. He's a good player. He's playing good right now. I think GMAC's in play for a cheap look. I like Vincent Whaley at 6,100. I've been talking about Vincent Whaley. Talked about him last week. Finished 28th. He's a cheap option, but he's a high caliber young player. Coming off a T15 at Puerto Rico as well, T36 at the Honda, T28 at Corrales. $100 above minimum for Vincent Whaley. I think that's quite the play. If you really want to go studs and duds, or maybe you want to hammer like 4 of the 9K guys, you probably can't do that. But if you really want to, dip down in that low bottom end, Vincent Whaley's got you covered. I think he's going to make a cut. I think he's riding high and he's confident right now. So there we go. That's it for me, Pat. That's it for me, bud.
Okay, well, you know what? We got a couple things here before we close out. All right, DB. First off, I got to talk about the Nut Hut winner. I forgot to mention the Nut Hut winner, and that was
like towel as a caddy. You dropped the towel right in the beginning.
Well, we had Geno on the show, and that kind of threw me off. But at Matt L. EFOPS is his name on DraftKings. Okay. He had 473.5 points. It was a 1-point victory in the Nut Hut. So remember, if you win a weekly prize or win the weekly contest, you get entered into the end of the year contest to win a trip to play golf with me in Savannah or David in Augusta, or both of us in either place. You can choose wherever. Last but not least, David, one of the things that people love about me, just one of them, is that I do this thing called Pontificate with Pat. Okay. And it shows up on the Tour Junkies Chalk Bomb email. If you haven't subscribed to the Chalk Bomb, go into the website, go down to the bottom. There's a place to sign up there somewhere. Just go in there and sign up. And TourJunkies.com.
Never figured out how to tell people to subscribe to the Chalk Bomb. It's literally on every page on our website. Bottom
just go to the page and go. I just said that bottom of the page. Go in there and put your email in and sign up. Anyway, that is what people love about what I do in the Chalk Bomb email. But tonight, before we sign off, DB, you've got some pontificate thoughts, and I'm ready to hear them.
I gotta say, I think this is really tough. Okay, I will give you this, Pat. I truly, from the bottom of my heart, I'm being real here. From the bottom of my heart, I enjoy reading Pontificate with Pat in the Chalk Bomb. I may or may not scroll straight to it when I see the emails done and I go and look at it. I frequently will text you, don't I? I will say that was hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
I'll say, hey, what did you really think of that? Or did you pull that from somewhere? I frequently do that. I really enjoy Pontificate. So number one, it feels like I can't live up to it. It really feels like I can't live up to it. Number two, I think you would admit this. I feel like Pontificate plays better written than it does spoken. You yourself.
It does.
Yeah, you yourself have done a Pontificate with Pat segment multiple times at the end of the show, and it just, I don't know, it's something happens when you read it, and in your mind you go ahead and put Pat saying it a certain way, and then if he doesn't say it a certain way, it doesn't cross over well. So
and there's no trying to explain yourself either. Like you write it and it's there, and then you can interpret it for however you want to, not like how it sounds. Like
that's it. Like
it sounds in your own way how it's written. You don't know. I mean, or maybe you're thinking of how I would write it. But I do agree with you there. It is better written. But you're behind the 8 ball a little bit here.
I'm behind the 8 ball. What I'm doing is I'm setting myself up for this to be really lame. But I will say I have been keeping a note on my phone for weeks as things have come to my mind, preparing for this. And this is what I got. A couple of these I'll go pretty quickly, and then I'm going to sit on one topic maybe for a minute. I just found out recently that you can go to Zaxby's. If you are in the South, you've been to Zaxby's, and it's amazing. And I do love getting the unhealthy food at Zaxby's. Shout out Ben Little, Chalk Bomb Ben, owner of many Zaxby's. But I do really genuinely enjoy the Buffalo Blue chicken salad, and you can get fried buffalo fingers on the salad, crumbled blue cheese, ranch dressing. It's very, very good. I just learned, and I'm actually pretty pissed at Ben for this because he should have told us like a couple weeks after we met him and he said that he owns Zaxby's. He should have told us that this could happen. And look at Pat doing the phone thing again. Like, see, he can't stop it.
No, I can do. Listen, I'm used to this. I've heard
I
all
just
of this.
learned that you can ask for an extra chicken finger on the salad.
Wait,
like you can
what?
roll through the drive-thru and not be scoffed at or made fun of when you say, "Can I get the buffalo blue chicken finger salad fried with one extra finger?" Or you can ask for two. You can ask for two.
Do you pay for those extra fingers?
You do pay for each extra finger, but I like it. I like the protein side of the salad, and to be able to do that and just now realizing it is pretty game changing. And they don't bat an eye. They just, "Oh yes, sir," and then they just charge you what they charge you. And then even on the ticket, they'll say extra finger. I think that's fantastic, and people need to know that. I was wondering this: if you're a golfer at a PGA Tour event, is there a rule that you can't pump up the crowd before your shot? Have you ever thought about that? Like, why does every other golf tournament, every other hole shut up before you hit other than 16 at Waste Management? But what if you're a golfer like that, you felt like you thrived off of that, and like maybe it would rattle your opponent a little bit. What if I wanted to make the choice? 2021 is all about making choices, Pat. It's all about your personal choice and what feels good to you, right? And what feels good to me might not feel good to you, but that's okay. That's what feels good to me, and you have to deal with it. So if I'm playing you in a match, and before I hit my tee shot, I want everybody pumped up. I want you lit, hollering, screaming while I hit the ball, like not after, but while it's happening. I'm gonna stir you up, and then after I'm done, you're gonna hush for a minute. But what if that really got into the head of my opponent? Like, what if that was a thing? Why wouldn't it be a thing?
Well, I think there's certain golf etiquette rules that like happen like in general. So like I think it would depend on the event, and then like,
but see, what if a golfer tried to like be a trailblazer and start that? Like, what if tomorrow on the first tee, Joel looked around and said, "Hey, you know what? Every tee shot today, I want you to get it up. Let's go. Turn it up, crank it up. Let's go." And he stepped up and hit.
I mean, I don't mind. I like this thought. I like this thought. I mean, I think that it would be fun, but I just don't know how it would go. Who do you think would be most likely to do that?
I think Joel is one.
Joel would be one.
Definitely one. I mean,
who else would do it? I bet Bubba would do it. Bubba Watson would do it.
I think Ricky would do it. I think Ricky eats it up at Waste Management. I think there's more guys than you think that would do it, especially if you started to see that it did kind of get to people. Like that would get to Patrick Cantlay. I can tell you that right now. All the dancing he does and all the set, that would just get to him. Even if they had shushed, but they're still like, I just think that could rattle some folks.
Your boy Bryson would do it.
For sure he would do it. All right. Moving on.
That's a good
All right. You always do stuff about grocery stores. You and I, now this is something we both share. We have in common is actually we both do the grocery store shopping in our households. Say what you will. It's what happens. Okay. It's maybe a control thing for me.
For me, it's a control thing too.
It is.
I like to be in control of the grocery store trips.
I do too. So I go once a week. Pat goes once a day. I go once a week.
That's about true.
But I made a few observations about grocery stores. Some of these are just quick hitters. I have never in my life said anything other than, "Yep, sure did," when they ask you, "Did you find everything you needed?" I've never said anything other than yes, even though there have been definite times I have not found everything I've needed.
I like this one. Yeah, and there was a time when you told them you found everything you wanted, and you were looking for something, you didn't find it.
It happened 2 weeks ago. This is what came up. My wife's, how the wives will ask you to get something freaking random. She asked me for edamame already out of the little pod, the little shell.
Oh, they have that at Publix. Yeah, I know where to find it. I know where to find that.
Get it in the shell is because you put butter on it and sea salt. And
exactly. Getting it out of the shell is stupid. They come in actually, if you do it, they come in individually wrap packs, not like a big one. So that's why you didn't see it.
Find it anywhere. But when I got to the link, "Did you find everything you needed today?" "Oh yeah." Even though my wife's going to be mad that I didn't find it. Yeah, I did. I told her yes. I do this. I sometimes go down every aisle, even though I don't have to, in case I miss something or they possibly have added something new.
No.
Oh, you don't. Okay. Now, the only time I don't do that is, do you ever feel like when you enter the store with someone or a couple of people at the same time, you both walk in there together, you converge, you both get a cart, okay? Now, I'm not talking somebody grabs a little basket, you grab a cart. You and at least one other person, maybe a group of people, grab a cart at the same time. Do you feel like we're kind of in this together? Or because we're starting at the same time, like it's a little bit of a race. Like I'm going to be more efficient than you in knocking this whole thing out. When that happens, I do find myself like pausing, thinking about what's down that aisle, going to skipping. And every time I skip a line, I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like I have this internal competition with myself, with people that I entered the store with. Am I the only one?
Yeah, I don't have that thought ever
Okay.
when I go into the. Now I can understand it. That's the competitive side of you, I guess. But no, because like then if you walk into the same, so like let's just say the deli counter is one of the first counters they can get to, and you walk in with that person and they go to the deli counter, like you immediately count that as a win. I'm sure because you know they're going to be at the deli counter forever, and then so you've got them by at least 10 or 15 minutes already.
That's true. All right, last one for me. I thought about some of the guys in the Nut Hut, and there's some sad folks in the Nut Hut. There's a lot of single middle-aged guys at the Nut Hut, and I was thinking maybe if you were single middle-aged, I was going to help you out, because if you're single, you're going to the grocery store, you're probably hitting the frozen pizza and beer aisle, and that's probably it, and you're a sad person. But so I was thinking about, if you were that guy, what aisle would you hang out on to kind of meet a lady? You know what I mean? Like to meet a good quality lady, because there's good quality ladies that go grocery shopping that may be single. So I kind of am thinking like, what's the aisle that you think you would have the most success meeting a lady? I think it's coffee aisle. I think it's the coffee aisle. I think all women love coffee. Even those that don't love coffee, they still buy coffee because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to buy coffee. You're supposed to drink coffee if you're a female. So I think if you are hanging out on the coffee aisle, that's a good thing. Not the milk aisle, because milk means she's probably got kids, because most middle-aged women don't drink milk, So if you're trying to get one without kids, you avoid the milk aisle because kids drink a lot of milk. But if you're trying to get one without milk, you stay, or with milk, you can go to the milk aisle if you want kids. Not the produce. The produce section is way too busy. There's too many people going on, and there's too many different traffic patterns. You could be trying to like, oh, I'm going to cross paths at the pomegranate, but then she takes a right at the broccoli and goes this way. And because there's so many different options, you get lost. You got to have it on a single aisle so that you can plan the cross pass, and then you deliver whatever line it is that you're going to deliver. So I think that is coffee aisle.
Nope. No, I think it's got to be somewhere in the
Why is
the health.
Sam telling me to be careful? I don't understand.
I don't understand why he's telling you to be careful. Although he might be telling you because he knows what I'm about to say. But I'm just going to say that I think it's got to be in a healthy like food section, especially maybe organic, but then also like the vegetables and stuff like that, or like a kumquat. Like if you go in there and you're buying a kumquat, like that lady's probably sitting there thinking, all right, what does this guy
I don't know what that is. I don't even know what that is. Have you ever bought one?
I'm just saying, but just let me finish my point.
You find a picture of a kumquat?
Let me finish my point. If you're going and buying a kumquat, I feel like that lady is saying, all right, what does this guy know how to do with a kumquat? I mean, like, what can he make with a kumquat? And it's like, so she's probably like, I mean, he knows what he's doing with that, okay? And then he's in the fresh vegetable section, and he grabs it.
I don't know what. I have a lot of questions we're gonna have to talk about offline here, Pat.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think organic is dangerous, because organic chicks can be weird. I mean, I'm just gonna tell you, organic chicks can be weird. Next thing you know, she's got you like huffing oxygen at an oxygen bar. Whoa, that's a kumquat? No way.
Yeah, look at that. You creating some good stuff with that.
It's an orange.
Well, either way, look, now it also depends on the age that we're going after. Like if we're going after cougars, it could be a whole different thing than if we're going after like younger people. Okay.
Oh, I think Mark's onto something. Stand by the pineapple, he says in the YouTube chats. I think that's there's something to that. My Publix now has a new pineapple machine slicer. Have you seen that? You drop a pineapple in there, you hit a button, and you drop a full, one that's got all the prickly things on it. You drop it in there, and it cuts it and slices it fresh for you. All right, we got to head.
Okay, we got to go because old
This
Sam is
off the rails.
All right, so okay, all right, that's all we got for the DFS show for the Valero Texas Open. Thank you for joining us. I am Pat Perry again, your lovely host, DB. That's all I got this week. See ya!